Alright. This is a weird video for me. I will be uploading this to YouTube because I think there's something important that we need to talk about. All this video is, and I'm gonna get straight into it. First of all, hello, welcome. Hi, welcome to the video, welcome. My name's DamnitDaniel141. I am making this video because this shit's getting out of hand. This whole protecting the kids from the internet. It's turning kind of into a dystopia. Our government really is. And what better way to talk about something like that than playing Cyberpunk? I've already recorded a video on Cyberpunk. This is not that. This is not the continuation of that. This is just, you know, I wanted to play this. Okay. So already, our world is going into shit. There's a lot. I usually don't like talking about this in videos. At least I didn't. I started not doing it for different reasons. What in the fuck am I doing? Sorry, I'm like looking at where the hell I am in the story. Okay. Okay. So like I was saying, this is a really fucked up time in terms of you know, in terms of the technology and the way we and by we I mean our governments are managing our internet safety, or as they claim to say, internet safety. First, you know, there was rumors that Spotify was gonna start asking for ID. Nobody really believed it, but then it came true, and especially in the UK. Because right now, if you aren't aware, in the UK, excuse me, there is age restrictions now. You have to send in a picture of your ID to Spotify, YouTube, Discord, basically any social media app. Now you have to upload a photo of your ID to confirm you're 18. Now, for some people, they might be, well, that, you know, that's totally legitimate because we have a lot of kids using the social media apps. Yeah, that's true. That is a problem. But the way to solve it is not to start asking people to upload their ID, because as everybody knows, with the rule number one in the internet, in any place where you are basically anonymous, especially in the internet, you don't give out your personal information. You don't give out your address, you don't give out your full name, all that kind of stuff. Now what the government's trying to ask us, at least the British government, but I doubt that it'll that this shit won't come to the United States, because I know it will, because somehow, some way, it always does. We should start switching to physical media. That's basically what this is. Because honestly, it's impressive that the UK actually went through with it. The whole asking for ID for that. I didn't think they'd do it. Not a lot of people think they would, and then it started happening. And now we're here, which this is, again, it is insane to think that we actually have to think and deal with this about governments not caring or claiming to care about your digital privacy, but then doing everything in their fucking everything in their power to then just be like, no, actually we don't. Because again, it is ridiculous that we have that, at least for the UK, now there has to be a fucking Like, you have to verify by sending in a picture of your ID. And again, I'm not even gonna like be surprised if this shit comes to the U.S. because it probably will. With our current president, it's most likely gonna happen at some point. Now, another reason I just really wanted to talk about this, and I really wanted to play this game, so that's why we're here. But yeah, this is honestly getting out of hand. Oh, hey, look at that. This is getting out of hand with this whole thing. Like, I've seen so many videos and posts and like people, and I've talked to people about this as well, that right now switching physical media, MP3 players, CDs, DVDs for movies, unsubscribing from all your stuff probably is going to be the best idea in the coming months, just because if it actually does come to the US as it's come to the UK, uploading your photo ID should never be a thing you have to do to confirm your age. Unless it's like government official documents. If it's government official, like getting your license, getting your driver's license, getting a fucking loan or something, you know. But if it's just YouTube and Spotify and Instagram and all these social media platforms, there is no reason why you should be doing this. Why you should even consider uploading your photo ID. Now, a lot of people might be like, oh, well, you know, they're like doing it for the safety. They're not doing it for the safety of the children. The amount of times the YouTube servers got hacked, the fucking Spotify servers got hacked, all of these people and all of these companies got hacked, and you're telling me that the safest way to get us to have internet privacy is to upload our personal information, when we have seen time and time again how vulnerable these servers really are. That's not, and also it's the whole thing of, I would much rather trust a independent entity. And yes, I am saying this, and I am not. I'd much rather give my information like that to an independent entity than a giant corporation like YouTube or Spotify or Instagram or all that stuff. Because, you know, with a separate entity, you might be a little safer, and that might be a controversial thing, but you might be a little safer because they have smaller servers, which means they don't, like, you know, they might not have as much traffic. So it is honestly insane, an insane thing, that the government, at least in the UK, again, and I will have to emphasize this because then people are going to be like, whoa, it's not happening in the US. Yes, it's not happening in the US just yet, but I'm telling you, it probably will happen. If there's one thing you can count on, is that the US government will find a way to make this a genuine thing that's going to happen. It's like, already I've seen so many people cancel their Spotify premium subscriptions and move to, like, you know, they're burning CDs, they're uploading their music to MP3s and, like, you know, downloading or getting MP3 players, getting a Sony Walkman again, getting an iPod. And by Walkman I don't mean the cassette players, there's actual modern Walkman that are just kind of MP3 players. Or getting a Zune, getting all of these like old 2000s forms of physical media just to escape what the world is becoming, which it's honestly, I never thought that would be a requirement. I never thought we would have to backtrack on technology like this. Because the thing is, streaming is extremely, extremely accessible and extremely easier than getting physical media. Burning a CD, uploading shit through MP3 because you have to go through a whole thing. It is so much easier to stream, but that makes it way more vulnerable. I wish this wasn't a thing we had to worry about. I really do, because again, this is insane. As the title of this video explains, this is getting out of hand. Because why the fuck do we now have to worry about all the... We shouldn't have to worry about it, actually. We shouldn't have to think of our, you know, our children. We shouldn't have to think about that. We shouldn't have to think, oh, well, maybe there's a world, there's gonna be a world where our children, or, you know, this generation's children, will have to backtrack from the internet, that will have to, again, live without the internet. With AI on the rise and all these companies making it a priority to use AI, you know, Google's using it, Spotify's using it, YouTube's using it. There's now, because if you really haven't noticed, the takeover of AI, which again, and I will always defend this point, the AI that they're using is not actual, it's not artificial intelligence. Because sure, it's learning, kind of. It can learn, but it has to be given the information. It doesn't really learn on its own. So no, technically speaking, it's not AI. And it's insane, because like you could go to YouTube right now, you could go to YouTube, and if you try to go down to a comment section on any YouTube video, or at least from what I've seen, you go to a thing on a YouTube video, and instead of comments, you will see an AI summary of the video. Like, or at least from what I've seen from the YouTube videos that I've watched in the past couple of days, you will try to go down to the comments, and you will just see a fucking AI, like, oh, watch this AI, or like, summarize this video with AI. Or even Google, if you try to Google anything, now there's a tab just called AI mode. That shouldn't be a thing. And again, it's a whole thing of why I am playing this game, because this game is probably the best representation of what this is gonna be. Like, if anything, this is probably the best representation of what our society can become, and I don't want it to become this. Because honestly, this world's so fucked up. And again, it's a whole thing of, especially with Gen Z, we are growing up. We grew up in a world where we saw all this shit happen, and then finally, it seemed to calm down. But as soon as we were gonna start turning adults, and we were gonna start, you know, running the world, I guess, or being in the workplace and all this stuff, everything started going to shit. Everything did. For some of us, first we had COVID, then we had fucking Trump administration doing all this shit this year, Biden administration doing all that shit last year. So it's crazy that we genuinely have to fucking worry about this shit. Fuck, I really need to know how to aim this thing. It's insane that we have to fucking basically survive through so much shit just because, you know, everything's somehow, some way turning to shit as soon as we're adults and as soon as we are able to contribute. Everything from the economy to the government to fucking social media turning into whatever the fuck it is now. Never in my life did I ever think we would get to a point where I would be speaking, especially on the internet, because again, this is getting uploaded to YouTube. I never thought I'd be speaking against the internet. I never thought I'd be speaking to get rid of the internet, to stop using the internet, to go back to physical media, to go back to being offline. I never thought I would have to advocate for that. But somehow, some way, we did end up here. I, like, dude, it's insane. It really is. It's insane to me that I'm having to advocate against the internet. Then having to speak out on these issues because nobody should be speaking out, should have a need of speaking out on these issues. Like, at all. These shouldn't be issues that we, as a society, would have to worry about. But somehow, some way, this is reality, and this is what we have to now deal with. It's really odd. Honestly, it's really fucking odd doing this. I thought I knew what I wanted to say. I thought I knew what I wanted to speak about, but like, it's just it's still crazy to me that I have to, that I wanted to make this video, that I had to make this video. Because again, one of my like dreams was to use the internet as a platform to, you know, entertain people, educate people, build a community, and now you're telling me that there's a future where I'm probably not going to be able to do that because the internet has now become such a dangerous place because of our government, because our government thinks that it knows better than, you know, us how to deal with our lives. So yeah, honestly, that's mostly what I wanted to talk about. So we can keep playing this, and that's fine. This might be just like a shorter video, and I might just like end it here. Because honestly, I don't want to speak on it anymore. I really don't. I've been seeing videos on it all day. I've been reading up on it. I've been like, it's exhausting living in this reality where I have to make a video. Even though I'm not a popular creator and I'm not a big creator, I should not be having to make a video saying this, that you should stay off the internet. That you should go start buying physical media, or start transferring your shit from Spotify or YouTube or all this stuff into physical forms, MP3 players, all this stuff, CDs. Or I never thought I'd have to say it again, that like you should buy fucking DVDs again. That you should start collecting DVDs, like movies and stuff. Never did I think I'd have to ever do that again. But it's just what the fuck is going on, and it sucks. Honestly, it really does suck. All of us rely on the internet so much in this day and age. You could say that you don't. Everybody relies on the internet. Everybody does. If you have a phone, you rely on the internet. Social media, whatever, you rely on the internet. So it really does suck that now we're gonna have to just somehow learn to live without it when we learn to live with it. Maybe we won't have to live without it forever, but definitely for the time being. Definitely until we figure this out as a society, until we stop letting companies like Google or governments or anything like that try to squeeze every single bit of money and life and just passion out of us. We need to stand up and try to fight this, because it really is insane. But yeah, that's honestly all I wanted to make this for. So I'm probably gonna leave this here, because that's honestly all I want to talk about, and I don't think you guys want to see me play this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm begging, please, 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 start reading up on this, and start educating yourselves, and start being against this, against letting our governments do this to us. Alright. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys later.